Welcome back to the channel Space Explorer. Last time we dove into the Sirian atmosphere of Venus, but today we're heading to Venus' next door neighbor, Mercury. Ever wonder what it would be like to live on the closest planet to the Sun? Well, buckle up because we're about to explore one of the most extreme environments in our solar system. Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system and it orbits incredibly close to the Sun, well about 36 million miles away. That's just one third of the distance between Earth and the Sun, with temperatures soaring up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit, 430 degrees Celsius during the day, and plunging to minus 290 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 180 degrees Celsius at night. Living on Mercury presents some serious challenges. Unlike Venus or Earth, Mercury has almost no atmosphere to speak of, just a thin layer of oxygen, sodium, and hydrogen. This means there's no air to breathe, and there's nothing to protect the surface from the sun's brutal rays or the frigid temperatures of space at night. Despite being one of our closest neighbors, we know surprisingly little about Mercury. Its proximity to the sun makes it difficult to study, and only a few missions like NASA's Messenger has given us a closer look at the surface and environment. But today, we're diving into a whole new realm of imagination. If we were to try and live on Mercury today, survival would be next to impossible. The lack of atmosphere, extreme temperatures, and constant exposure to solar radiation require us to live in heavily shielded underground habitats. The day and night cycle on Mercury lasts about 176 Earth days, so we'll also have to adapt to long periods of daylight, followed by equally long periods of darkness. Water will have to be sourced from ice deposits found in craters at Mercury's poles, and our energy will have to come from solar power, though we'd have to carefully regulate it during those sweltering days. But what if Mercury wasn't a barren rock? What if life had evolved to survive there? What would animals, plants, and the entire ecosystem look like on a planet so close to the Sun? Given the planet's harsh conditions, the wildlife on Mercury will need to be incredibly specialized. From heat shielded exoskeletons to internal biology cooling systems, these creatures will have to be unlike anything we've ever seen on Earth. Let's meet the first creature on our imagined ecosystem, Mercury, the Cereustherium solaris, better yet known as the stone-toed beast. Cereustherium is a medium-sized herbivore standing about 4 feet tall with a bulky armored body. Its exoskeleton is covered in tone-like projections that reflect sunlight, protecting it from Mercury's extreme heat. The exoskeleton is made of composite material that reflects and dissipates heat, while a complex aqueduct with internal cooling duct circulates fluids to regulate body temperature. These ducts also help it conserve water, a rare commodity on Mercury. The Cereustherium solaris primarily feeds on Pyriflora lumina, a phosphorescent plant that glows faintly during Mercury's twilight. The plant's deep roots tap into hidden water reserves, providing the Cereustherium solaris with moisture and nutrients. Cereustherium is largely nocturnal, emerging from burrows during the cooler twilight hours. It's a slow, deliberate forager, using its thorny exoskeleton to deter predators like Ada Draco. During the hottest part of the day, it retreats underground to stay cool. It breeds during Mercury's long twilight. Females lay hard-shelled eggs in cool, shaded areas near ice deposits. The eggs incubate slowly due to Mercury's long day-night cycle, hatching when the environment cools. The next fish we're going to discuss is one of the predators of the Cereustherium solaris. Up next, we have the Draco infernus, better known as the sky dragon of the Inferno. The Draco is a massive winged predator reaching lengths of up to 15 feet. Its semi-transparent wings function like solar panels, allowing it to absorb and store solar radiation for energy. Draco has a specialized circulatory system that channels heat away from vital organs. Its wings are covered in thin solar-absorbing membranes, which not only power its flight but also help it stay warm during Mercury long nights. His sensitive organs on his head allow it to detect prey on the ground by the thermal signatures. The Draco predates on large herbivores like the Cereustherium, using its superior speed and heat-sensing abilities to hunt even when its prey is hiding beneath the surface. It also scavenges, consuming other creatures when food is scarce. The Draco is active during the hottest part of the day when it has the energy advantage over prey. Its high vantage point in flight allows it to survey large areas of land for movement. The Draco is a solitary hunter and fiercely territorial. The females lay eggs in rocky craters, where the sun heats the egg directly. The developing young absorb solar energy, emerging fully energized and ready to hunt when hatched. The next creature we're going to look at is the Syndiphus purpureus, better yet known as the vapor shredder. It is a small, fast scavenger about the size of a rabbit. Its dark, heat-resistant exoskeleton protects it from the searing temperatures during the day. Syndiphid possesses specialized glands that vaporize trace amounts of water from the tin, mercury, and atmosphere, allowing it to extract enough moisture to survive. Its claws are sharp, allowing it to quickly strip flesh from carcasses or dig for food. It is a scavenger. It feeds primarily on the remains left by predators like Ada Draco. It also consumes plant matter in dire circumstances, but prefers meat for its higher energy yield. The Syndiphorus is incredibly fast and agile, relying on its speed to dart in and out of feeding grounds before larger predators can attack. It often follows either Draco or Ferocanis hunts, waiting to feed on the leftovers. It breeds rapidly, producing large clusters of eggs in hidden burrows. The eggs hatch within days, with young Syndiphorus ready to scavenge within hours. The next creature we have is a Noctilucis crepusculum. It is a bioluminescent, insect-like creature with a wingspan of around 6 inches. Its body and wings emit a faint blue glow, which becomes more intense during twilight hours. The glow of the Noctilucus is due to a specialized cell in its exoskeleton that produce light through a chemical reaction. Its large compound eyes are adapted for low light conditions, allowing it to navigate and hunt during the extended periods of Mercury's twilight. They feed on extremophiles and microorganisms that live in the twilight zones, especially around ice deposits and plants like Pyroflora lumina. They are highly social creatures, forming massive mating swarms during the twilight. Their glowing bodies create impressive light shows, which also help them attract mates. During these swarms, females lay hundreds of eggs in clusters around the bases of Pyroflora. The larvae feed on microorganisms in the soil before pupating into adult blowflies. The final creature we're talking about is the Furcaneus radiatus, better known as the iron hound. It is a wolf-like predator about 3 feet tall with metallic reflective fur that shines under the harsh sunlight. Its large claws are made of metal-like material, allowing it to dig through Mercury's rocky terrain. Furcaneus has a thick, multi-layered coat of metallic fur that reflects solar radiation during the day and insulates its body against the frigid nights. Its powerful metal-like claws enable it to burrow deep into the ground for both water and shelter. Furcanis hunts in packs, preying on smaller herbivores like Cyndiferous and occasionally attacking larger prey like Cereustherium, and also scavenges during lean periods. Furcanis hunts at night in packs, relying on pack cooperation to take down prey. By day, it burrows underground to avoid the extreme heat, often sharing burrows with other pack members. It breeds in the communal safety of burrow system, with females giving birth to live pups in the protected environment. The young are cared for by the entire pack. We are just started our dive into Mercury's ecosystem, and we can already see how the creatures interact with each other. The Cereustherium and the Pyroflora form the base of the food chain, while the Aether Draco and the Ferocanis sit at the top. But even the smallest creatures, like the Noctilucis, play an important role, ensuring that every piece of Mercury's delicate ecosystem fits together. From heat-loving scavengers to predatory beasts that soar in the intense light of Mercury's day, every organism here has adapted to life in one of the most extreme environments imaginable. They have evolved in ways we can only dream of, far removed from Earth's life forms, yet equally complex and intertwined. And there you have it, a brief glimpse of what life could look like on Mercury. Next time, we'll take a deeper dive to discover more creatures that could exist on this planet. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and as always, stay curious.